Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Jed. Welcome back to another Division video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys an Alpha Bridge build.
Shut up, Jed. Just eat the snow already, you shit YouTuber.
Today I'm going to be showing you guys an Alpha Bridge build, or as I like to call it, ALPHA-CRINGE. This build is getting a lot of love right now in the Dark Zone. I think this is among the easier builds to use. It melts really quick. You can tank a lot. And with submachine guns getting nerfed, it already made everything else better automatically. So with assault rifles getting a buff on top of that, I think assault rifles are king now, which I'm definitely not complaining about. It's so much better than shotguns. I still have not died to a shotgun yet in 1.5, which I am so grateful for. But in my personal opinion, I do think assault rifles are a little too strong. I think they need to see a little bit of rebalancing. I don't think there's any problems with Alpha Bridge. The idea behind it is great. I just think assault rifles are a little too strong. So without further ado, let's get into this build. First up on the chest piece, it is rolled into stamina. I got 2 stamina mods with armor on it. The chest piece itself is rolled into armor and EDR. I really needed the EDR because of flame turrets and cluster mines and grenades and all that stuff. Although the problem with this build, the overwhelming problem with it, is that I do not have anything rolled into ammo capacity, and with Alpha Bridge, that is a must-have. So I am looking for either a new chest or a new backpack because I am missing the ammo capacity. Moving on to the mask, I have another Alpha Bridge piece here rolled into firearms. Got a decently high roll on firearms, rolled into crit chance. My idea with this build was to build a little bit into crit chance with assault rifles. I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but I was just kind of curious. But now after testing it out and seeing how low my crit chance actually is, I do wish that crit chance was exotic damage resilience, but I had to roll it for enemy armor damage. Moving on to the knee pads, I'm actually pretty happy with the pair of knee pads that I got. It got a pretty high stamina roll on it, and it already rolled armor. I just decided to re-roll it for a higher amount of armor. Already rolled enemy armor damage on it, which is great because I get 20% just off of my gear already. So I'm definitely glad I picked these up. Moving on to the backpack, I got a specialized backpack here with a pretty high stamina roll on it. I got a really high armor roll as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get the ammo capacity on this, which is something that I do need a lot. Moving on to the gloves, I got a really nice pair of Savage gloves here rolled into AR damage, crit chance, and damage. I rolled the main stat for a higher roll of firearms. If you guys don't know, they're selling these gloves right now, I believe at DZ06 East Checkpoint. So if you're planning on building this, I would recommend going and picking up those gloves immediately. And lastly, for the gear, I'm rocking my final piece of Alpha Bridge, which was the last piece of this build that I actually got. So I'm super grateful I even got this to drop to begin with. So I was not that picky about it. I got a pretty low firearms roll, pretty low stamina roll. I rolled that for armor because I needed it. But yeah, I'm still grateful that I picked this up. And if anyone doesn't know what Alpha Bridge does, the 2-piece gives you 100% health regen. The 3-piece gives an extra 5% weapon damage, which is nice. But the 4-piece is where the damage comes in. If your primary and secondary weapon is of the same category, they gain all of the unique active talents. Next up, my primary weapon is a lightweight M4. I do find these really easy to hip fire with, so I definitely would recommend using this as a primary. Has really high base damage, high RPM. It just is great for melting down targets. For the talents, I rolled Destructive because it now works in PvP. I got Predatory for survivability, Brutal for obvious reasons, although I will explain later on why Brutal is so good for assault rifles. I also have Responsive for a flat damage increase, Deadly because I will be critting sometimes with my mask and gloves both being rolled into crit chance, and Savage, and Uncomplicated, which really helps because the lightweight M4 is already pretty stable, so you don't need many stability mods, which would not reduce your damage. For the magazine, I am running mag size, crit damage, and rate of fire. I think that one's pretty straightforward. And this right here is why I rolled Brutal. You can put sniper attachments on assault rifles, which roll decent amounts of headshot damage. Each of these mods roll more than the Brutal perk rolls itself, so this is like 3 Brutals stacked on top of each other, so when you're hitting headshots, you are absolutely burning targets down. And I rolled Stability on my underbarrel because the lightweight M4 does need some stability when you are hip firing it, but overall it is a lot more stable than most assault rifles, which is great because instead of rolling stability on my optic, I'm able to run headshot damage. And for my pistol, I'm running a 93R with Harmful on it. This is great for just tagging targets that are trying to run away, or they're just moving too frantically and I want to slow them down a bit. If you take a look over at my character, I'm running 11.5 crit chance, which if you add Savage on top of that, you're getting 18.5. Headshot damage is huge. I'm doing so much damage when I'm hitting headshots. Scrolling down to weapon damage bonus, I get a flat 17% weapon damage bonus because I have the Alpha Bridge 3-piece going into my damage, and then I also have Uncomplicated, which is being reduced a little bit by my stability mod. Scrolling down, this one is huge. I have 55% enemy armor damage, which just absolutely shreds people in PvP. So if I'm able to hit a few headshots with 55% armor pen, I can put down most tanky players in about a second. If you keep scrolling down, my max health is 206,000, which is being mitigated 53%. I'm sitting at 11% EDR, which I think should be a little bit higher. I think I should trade out my crit chance on my mask for that. Over to my skills, I run First Aid Overdose, which I think that one's pretty obvious. I got my self-heal all the way up to 128,000 because I am running all self-heal mods on my gear. When I'm not running Concealed, I'm usually running Immunizer for that double heal. It just really helps me out. I usually don't mess with any other skill in the game. I only stick to medical column skills. Over to the talents, I am running Combat Medic to help out the team a little bit. When I pop a medkit, if I'm getting focused, it could heal them back up. Strike Back is great because if I'm getting focused and I hit that last segment, I'm able to pop a medkit, and then if they keep burning me down, it procs it again, and I get a 40% cooldown reduction, which has saved me so many times. Next up, I'm running On the Move, which is great because I have renamed shock turrets to On the Move, because every time that someone wants to drop a shock turret or seeker mines or anything like that, I'm just simply able to shoot them and proc On the Move, and now I'm sitting at 550 toughness because they decided to drop a skill like that. And lastly, I'm running One Is None. I think this one's pretty obvious. I'm doing so much headshot damage, so when I'm hitting headshots, I'm getting those rounds back. So I think that's it for the build. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see some PvP of this, just let me know by leaving a comment or leaving a like on this video. I'll be sure to get in the Dark Zone, get some PvP going. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, everybody.
Your build is shit
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't ask you.